Alright, it's Thursday, May 20th, and we're standing under the Apache Pier here at Apache Campground in North Myrtle Beach. And we're getting ready to head south to do a peer-to-peer walk to 2nd Avenue Pier in Myrtle Beach, about 10 miles away, I believe. It's a beautiful day. It's almost 10 o'clock. The lifeguards have came out and started to set up their chairs and stands, and 10 o'clock people are starting to come out onto the beach, and the early morning people are starting to go back in. As always, I do these hikes, I'll cut the camera on and off as we go along. I don't film one continuous walk like you see people do in some videos. Plus, we've got a long ways to go. Don't have that much storage. Somebody wrote 2021 in the sand here. I hope it turns out a lot better than 2020, that's for sure. Got some people up ahead with their nets digging in the sand, trying to find something to scoop up. Off to my right, behind those buildings there, you'll find the Dunes Golf Club. Little development back in there. Got a couple of people out there fishing this morning. I think a lot of them have already went back in. Usually they come out earlier in the morning. Myrtle Beach has definitely changed over the years, as you can see by the skyline out in front of us. All these tall, high-rise buildings. But when they first come out here to buy land, the beach was not considered very valuable. And I read a story about a fellow that bought a bunch of land out here in the beginning, and on his papers where it describes the land he wants to buy, and it's a bunch of acres, it says so many acres of pine trees and things like that. Timber was big back then, and I think it had 9 miles of worthless beachfront property. And you probably can't buy one little tiny lot today for what he paid for all those acres of beachfront property and pine trees. Funny how things change over the span of time. Looks like a crow out there in the water. Ooh. Now that wasn't good. That's you. Getting ready to talk about the dumb crow. Looks like he's eating something out of there. Get a little salty, I guess. Must be good. I gotta watch where I'm going. Have some wet, sandy feet. That won't be any fun. There goes the sand tractor. Comes out every day and smooths out the sand for everybody. Making this turn to head back down. Dang it. I was hoping not to run across any water crossings so soon in my hike, because I got to go through this water like I did yesterday. Take my shoes off and then put them back on, and sand got all in there. What are you going to do? Just part of the journey, I guess. Alright, let me take my shoes off and then we'll cross. Alright. Let's get our feet wet. Got pretty good flow coming out of there. Woo. I don't know. A little cold, not too bad. Oh, sunk down. Yeah, went down to my knee. That's what I'm going to get across this. Problem is now I got to sit down in the sand or put my shoes on too. Find a place to lay this camera down. One bird out there, you getting his feet wet. There's a look back at the Apache Pier. You can see that yellow top off in the distance. I'll get my shoes on and we'll turn around and keep heading north. So the sand's not too bad through here. I'm gonna keep my shoes off and make my way up to one of these steps going across the dunes there and find me a place to sit and let my feet dry a little bit, kick this sand off. So there's some marks in the sand where I sat down. I decided not to go all the way to the steps and put my shoes back on. You'd think walking barefoot in the sand wouldn't be too bad, but if you're doing 10 miles, it makes a big difference. But yeah, there's the little marks where I squatted down there and looked like I was out here trying to do some yoga. And I'll tell you what, I firmly believe that the hardest thing for a man to do over 60 years old is to get up without grunting. Anyway, let's get this 60-year-old body on down the road, on down the beach. Ain't got no sand in my shoes, so I can keep going. If you look over the dunes there, you can see golf course there from Dunes Golf Course. Here's some of the housing on the beach here in the Dunes development. Beautiful little section of beach. We're a little over a mile into our hike now. You can see the yellow top of Apache Pier back there in the background getting further and further off. There's another look at some of those houses in the dunes there. It's a little low place you'll find along the beach sometimes that holds this water. When the tide comes in, kids will be sitting up there on the beach up in that area. And they'll run out here to get in the ocean and they'll hit this little deep spot and go, whoa! Be up to their necks if they're little kids. You can't see it when the water's in. You think somebody's standing out on this end, it doesn't look too deep, and then they run across that little deep section there and get surprised. You can tell the difference between areas like the dunes where you have private homes and areas with condos and a lot of rentals by the number of people out on the beach. You can see up ahead how it's getting more crowded. You'll see those umbrellas and things. Can't remember the name of these little birds. They just run all over the place looking for food. Waves not too big today. Wind's not blowing it either. It was blowing pretty good yesterday, but today it's getting a little warm because we don't have that cool breeze. Here's something you won't see too often. This little piece of land where Bear Branch runs into the ocean has a little bit of elevation to it. A little height there. Yeah, all green like the whole beach used to be at one time before all these condos got built, before all the people came down here and started going on vacations. It used to take a long time to get to the beach from other places like Conway. It'd take hours to get out here, and then the people doing the timber business finally built a railroad to come on out, and that's how the tourist industry got started. Their workers would come out and ride the train and spend some time at the beach. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can find a place to jump across without taking my shoes off. And it's not looking too good. See if I can follow this fella. Yeah, there we go. Let him be the guinea pig. Running pretty good. Yeah, that's Bear Branch. Water running in from there. Man, I'm glad I didn't have to take my shoes off for that. There's some people fishing out there. He's got a good setup out there. I have these umbrellas here on the right that you can rent. So you got 4 rent signs on some of them, and the other ones will have reserved. But I like to rent these out from time to time because lifeguards will put them up and they'll be out here waiting for you when you get on the beach, and then they take it down at the end of the day. We usually do it by the whole week. There's another one of those little dips. If the tide's in and you started running for the ocean, you might hit a little spot there and find yourself in deep water. As I walk along, see all these buildings and houses. Just got to thinking about how I wish we'd have been smarter in the past and made state parks ever so often along the beach, like we did down there at Myrtle Beach State Park here on the other end of this beach. There needs to be more of them all up the coast. They did a good job on the Outer Banks with state parks, but it'd have been nice if they'd have kept sections of beach as a state park and had it go into the interior a good ways and put hiking trails and things like that, and that would have left a corridor for animals that wanted to come out here to the beach. I imagine before we got here you would have seen wildlife out here, kind of like you do the ponies up there in Corolla, North Carolina. They're on the Outer Banks. It'd been nice, but all the land's been bought up, and we've just kind of blocked every large animal off from being able to get out here to the ocean. I'd hate to come running out through this section barefooted in the ocean when it was covered up with water, step on all them shells. Got a good little collection down there where this little hole caught all the shells. Pretty good size. You can see some little fish in there swimming around. I don't know if you can, they're real small. I guarantee you they're hoping that the tide comes back in before this dries up. I don't know what you caught those little fish. If anybody does, comment below. Yeah, here's another one. Kind of like a little boulder field out through there. There's my foot beside one to give you an idea of the size of some of them. We're 2 miles into our hike now. We're at 78th Avenue along North Ocean Boulevard here in Myrtle Beach. Still got a ways to go. We've got about 8 more miles. Feeling good. There's a look at some of the places you can rent. See Dad off to my right lugging all the stuff down for his family. Man, dads, they have to do all the work, that's for sure. Props to that guy, taking care of his family like a man should. Here's one of their access points onto the beach. To the left you can see some older rental units. Usually they were 2 to 5 stories tall. Personally, I don't like to get over in the 5th story. Like you can see some of these taller buildings, you get up too high, you can't hear the ocean. And at night, a lot of times I like to just sit out on the balcony, especially late at night, and just listen to the waves come in. The water's warm enough to swim in now. Kids are out there running in it. Summer is here. And these people are getting an early jump on it. They're building off to the right there, the round one, curved one with pink on it. Reminds me of something you see down there in Miami. There's a look back. I'm about 3 miles in now. You can barely see the yellow top on Apache Pier. That girl off in the distance was jumping this water here and jumped right in the middle of it and got her shoe wet, and I kind of was laughing with her and her husband, and I jumped it and did the same thing. So be careful who you laugh at. At least I didn't get no sand in there. We just passed 67th Avenue. You can tell we're going by a row of houses now. A little bit smaller than the ones we looked at before, but nice houses nonetheless. Yeah, you hit these sections, there won't be many people here. You know, they're all down there in the rental areas. We're about 4 miles into our hike now. And off in the distance you can start to see 2nd Avenue Pier down there. Apache Pier is long gone out of sight. So we're just going to keep heading south till we get to our destination. Take that back. If you look real hard, you can still see the yellow top on the Apache Pier. Found me going out for a swim. Yeah, Memorial Day will be here in another week. The crowds will really start rolling in. I can see the big Ferris wheel now off in the distance. Half of it sticking out. The building's covering the other half. So we're getting closer, but it's deceiving. I'll be looking up at that Ferris wheel for a while now. I've still got a good ways to go, but sometimes it's better just to look at the ground and walk, because it seems like you're never going to get there. The other day when I went up, I did that peer-to-peer hike up to Cherry Grove. By the time I went into Atlantic Beach and did a little video there, and then did town center, North Myrtle Beach, walked around there a little bit, and then in and out on those piers there. The time I got done, I had about 13 miles in. I'm feeling it today. Leg's a little sore. We'll be all right. We'll get there. Got a couple people out there on surfboards, catching those little tiny waves. Probably a good place to learn how to get up and stand on a big old board. That board's so big, you can walk around on that thing. It's hard to fall off. There's another look back toward Apache Pier way off in the distance. Got this guy off here on to the right in his orange shorts. He's been bent over like that for a long time now. I was watching him as I came up and watching him as I passed, and there's a dog laying beside him, so I don't know if he's doing dog yoga or what. He's like in a meditative state. Interesting. Dog, beautiful dog he's got there, chilling with his animal. I don't know how long he's gonna stay bent over meditating like that. Either that or he's had a hard night of drinking and getting ready to throw up. Who knows? Who knows? I've done plenty of that down here at Myrtle Beach. Lots of drunk nights down here. When I was younger, me and my buddies built a customized an old station wagon. We cut the top off of it and painted it purple. I guess kind of a purple maroon look. And painted Adventure Club on the side, Elvira on the back, and made it into a convertible. And it had one of those electric tailgates that station wagons had at the time, and that gate would roll down and a bar would unfold with all our liquor in it. And we had hoses running up the inside wall of the car to different points in the car so everybody could have like a long straw. We'd make these coolers, put them down in where the spare tire would be, and hung them on a rack, and had those hoses run out from each one of those coolers to every person that was sitting there. It would hold about 9 people. Had a front seat, middle seat in the back, and we put one in the back where the station wagon part was. We'd drink, drive up and down. We could cruise up and down through here with no trouble. And we get stopped every once in a while, and we stick them hoses down in that hole. I remember one night, one of the police officers was going, "I know you boys are drinking, and I'm going to catch you." He never did. And when one of us got too drunk, we always said he got bit by a snake, because those little coolers, we call them snakes, because there was a mixture of whatever liquor we had left from the day before. And me and my buddy spent a many night bent over, hung over like that, and sick. It was a lot of fun. I got some videos of it, but I'm not going to show them. Got too many people in it that might not want to be on the video. Elvira. Tide is rolling in now, taking away some of the beach. I think high tide is at 3:34 today. It'll be on up here on this hill to my right. I believe this building right here is going to be a new 26-story building. And I'm pretty sure this building right beside it is the Breakers. And it's the first high-rise that I can remember that really started to change the skyline of Myrtle Beach when I was younger. In the 70s, I believe, is when that happened. Yeah, never would have thought so many would have been built. But they have, that's for sure. So this pier we're coming up on right here that has the end of it missing is Pier 14. It's got the Pier 14 restaurant on top of it. It's a good restaurant, good atmosphere, but I don't really like their prices. I don't know if it's worth it. It's right there at the Sky Wheel if you ever want to try it out. But we're going to the 2nd Avenue Pier, and if you look through the Pier 14, you can see it off in the distance, probably, I don't know, maybe a mile and a half from here, a couple miles. We're crossing under Pier 14 now. 2nd Avenue Pier is up ahead. Our goal is in sight. Oh, that shade feels good. There's the Sky Wheel right there. You got a boardwalk up there. You can walk all along through here. Get all the attractions off in the distance. See if you can see it. That little building with the steps coming up to the top, right over that orange umbrella. That's the Gay Dolphin right there. Great little gift shop. Everybody likes to go into. This woman's carrying her dog out here to the beach. Pretty sure it's not supposed to be out here during this part of the day. I've seen a couple of people doing that. And this dog does not look like he even wants to go to the water. I think she needs to take him back to the hotel. So there's another look at the Gay Dolphin. And that little park right there, you see those palm trees. There used to be a hotel right there, 5-story hotel. That's where I'll stay with my parents We'd always come down. Ever since I was born, we'd come every year. It was great. And we'd come out here and play on this beach right here. And at night, we'd come out of that hotel and walk down the beach and then cut back in and go in the pavilion, play some games, get some ice cream, and head back to the hotel. Have a lot of great memories here with my parents. It'd be great to be able to time travel and go back to one of those days just for a short period of time. Yeah, parents, bring your kids out like my parents did and make those memories here down here at Myrtle Beach. A lot of fun. Even though it's grown bigger than what I like, it's still a great place to come. They still got, even though the pavilion's gone, there's a lot of arcades and stuff up there where you can play. I don't see anybody out on those little styrofoam boards today, but when I was a kid, they used to have canvas floats that you would ride the waves with. And I can remember those things, but by the end of the day, your stomach and chest would just be raw. So you kids with your fancy styrofoam boards, you just don't know what it was like. You got it made. I don't know. I had it made then and they got it made now. Always fun to come to the beach. So right here where you see the flags, this open field right here, this is where the pavilion used to be. The historic pavilion was right here and they tore it down. I'm going to talk more about that when I go up to do a walk and talk tour of Myrtle Beach after we finish this pier-to-pier hike today. Got a little further to go. It's like about a mile. Tide is continuing to rise. Waves are getting closer. Hope I can get to the pier before I have to get up into the soft sand where it's harder to walk. We made it. 2nd Avenue Pier, and Wicked Tuna Grill, Sushi, and Rooftop Bar. We can get up there and walk out on the pier here in a minute, finish this tour. Do a slow pan back. All the way back that way. There's the sky wheel. So yeah, we're gonna walk up here and go out on this pier and I'll call it there. All right. Just bought my ticket back there where those two girls are coming out. We're going to walk out to the end of this pier and finish up this pier-to-pier hike today. We're closing in on 8.3 miles total for this trip. We made it. Out here to the end of the pier, you can see where it has some storm damage. Got it blocked off. That'll happen from time to time. Yeah, it's smelling fishy out here. Let's go back in a little bit. I wanted to move back to this point right here because there were a lot of people around me at the end. Yeah, off in the distance there somewhere is Apache Pier. About 8.3 miles away from here. It's a great hike today. There's a sky wheel off in the distance. Here in Myrtle Beach. Yeah, great hike. Ending here on the 2nd Avenue Pier. Hope you enjoyed this tour. If you did, like, share, and subscribe. Y'all take care.